Now this, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says Project Freedom is separate from Operation Epic Fury.
To be clear, this operation is separate and distinct from Operation Epic Fury. Project Freedom is defensive in nature, focused in scope, and temporary in duration, with one mission: protecting innocent commercial shipping from Iranian aggression. American forces won't need to enter Iranian waters or airspace. It's not necessary. We're not looking for a fight, but Iran also cannot be allowed to block innocent countries and their goods from an international waterway.
Pennsylvania Senator Dave McCormick joins me now. Mr. Senator, does that sound like an end to the war is near?
Well, I think we're at a crossroads, Stuart. Good to be with you. I think we're at a crossroads where the Iranians have to decide whether they're going to give up their enriched uranium, whether they're going to stop trying to block the strait, and move forward and hopefully have prosperity for the people of Iran, a great civilization run by a bunch of lunatics for the last 50 years. Alternatively, if they continue to go down the path they're going to down, we're going to use our military capability, I think, to further take away their ability to attack our allies and attack shipping. At this point, I don't think providing escorts through the strait for commercial ships is the restart of hostilities. I think it is a defensive measure. And I think we're in the same spot we've been in for the last 2 weeks, which is Iran really needs to make a choice. And as they contemplate that, the noose is tightening around them because they get 90% of their revenue from oil, and we have a blockade that's been incredibly successful. And also their storage capability for the oil is running out of capacity. So we're moving into the end game here, and it's really a choice for the leadership of Iran.
Would you put a time frame on it? If we're moving towards the end game, what have we got left? A week, 2 weeks? Heaven forbid, 3 months.
I'd say there's two sources of uncertainty. I think it's very hard to know exactly how long they're going to be able to withstand that economic damage and how much storage capability. So it could be weeks, it could be more than a few weeks, but it's certainly the pressure is growing. I think the second thing that's hard to predict is who are we dealing with? I mean, the leadership of Iran is very fragmented. There's clearly a more moderate element that's seeking some sort of end to the hostilities. And then there's another radical element that literally is going to drive Iran over the cliff. And I think that infighting that's happening within Iran is very, very difficult to decipher from where we sit. I think the only thing we can do is the president's done, is destroy their military capability, which the campaign's been very successful, and put pressure on them as they contemplate this choice. I know he wants to bring a complete end to any military conflict, but only if we accomplish the goals. They got to give up the enriched uranium, they got to give up their nuclear program, and they got to open the strait.
Got a new report claims that Republicans are quietly trying to flip Democrat Senator Fetterman. If successful, the credit will go to you and Senator Katie Britt. Okay, Senator, what have you been saying to Senator Fetterman?
Well, I wouldn't say that report's true in the following sense. He has been a breath of fresh air. I feel very fortunate to have him as my counterpart. He and I work together for the people of Pennsylvania. And honestly, he enters every conversation thinking, what is best for the people of Pennsylvania and what is the most principled stance? You know, he votes with his party, the Democratic Party, 90% of the time. The difference with him is he is willing to call out some of the extreme rhetoric and call out some of the extreme policies that are being promoted on the left. So I have a great admiration for him. We're truly friends, and I'm not sure what his political future holds, but I'm lucky to have him as my colleague.
Okay, keep working on it. Senator McCormick, thank you very much for joining us, sir. Always appreciate it. Thank you.